I am Mildred Galarpe. I'm the Digital Strategy Officer of the SunStar Publishing Inc. based in Cebu. We're a news media with other affiliate newspapers in major key cities in the Philippines. And my job involves monetization of our digital asset and strategies and how we go about it.
Can you tell us more about SunStar?
SunStar started as a newspaper based in Cebu. First, it's really just one newspaper. It's SunStar. Then later on, I think it's about 5 years after, we produced our tabloid paper called Super Balita Cebu. Still, we partnered with other newspapers in other communities. So we have Pampanga based in San Fernando. We have SunStar Baguio. In the Visayas, we have SunStar Bacolod and of course SunStar Cebu. In Mindanao, we have SunStar Cagayan de Oro and SunStar Davao. It's a network of community newspapers in the Philippines. I think we're the only network of community newspapers in the Philippines. We are the only national paper. National is not just based in Manila, but it's a network. We have reports from major key cities in the country. But the newspaper business has been very challenging, so some of our newspapers just goes up. We used to have 12 newspapers all over the country. But now some of them, they're only online only or digital only.
What are the challenges nowadays for publishers looking to transition from print to digital?
For a traditional media company, expanding its wings to digital is very challenging, very challenging. It involves a lot of mindset change and of course, technology. As a journalist myself, I'm a digital immigrant. Before I just have to write a story, that's it. But now, aside from writing the story for a newspaper, you have to tweet, you have to do social media, you have to record videos, you have to go live. Because you're not only serving one platform. You have a website, you have a video channel, you have social media. So now we call it digital first. As soon as the news breaks, a reporter tweets it, posts it on Facebook. If there's a need to go live to explain a video or something, reporters do that. For those who are old reporters and in the new environment, it's not just the mindset change for them, but it's also learning new technology in reporting. Unlike the new ones, it's easier for them because they're used to it, using the device, exploring the apps that they can use. But for those older journalists who are used to just using a sound recorder, writing the story for a newspaper where there's longer deadline, it's indeed a challenge. And even for the organization, the digital ecosystem is different from the print ecosystem. Example, in marketing, it works differently. I mean, newspaper, as long as it's just a space, you sell the space, either black and white or colored. But for digital, you sell it in different ways. One inventory, you can sell it either just a display or rich media or video. It's too technical. But if I'm a traditional salesperson for a newspaper, it's a lot of learning for me to do.
What are the top skills a journalist should have in today's digital world?
If you're a journalist today, you have to strengthen that core journalism values. The platforms may change, but the journalism values stays. Like the skill of verification, getting the stories right, getting everybody's side. It will not change, but there are other ways now to do interviews, especially with the pandemic when it's kind of difficult to do a face-to-face interview. So reporters now innovate. They interview via Zoom. Actually, at this time where there's a pandemic, technology is a great help to reporters and still continue to report what is happening around, despite the limitations and movement to go around. If you're a reporter today, at least you are familiar with taking videos, editing videos, tweeting, and doing social media aside from writing stories in a long form for the newspaper. You have to write fast also for websites.
How do you stay relevant in terms of creating content?
Staying relevant is very important, especially now that the media consumption of the public has greatly changed and there's a lot of competition. And competition is not limited to other media publications, but competition involves the citizens themselves. Like, for example, there's an accident. Of course, you don't have that much manpower where you can spread the people. So there are the citizens who are there and witness, just happen to have a phone, take a video, and post it on Facebook. And there, that person is your competition. They break the news first. So for you to stay relevant is to come up with strategies wherein you get to partner or you get to connect with the citizens who can be your contributors, can be your reporters. It's a great help for journalists. You learn some digital skills in verifying stories. Like if you saw something online, there are ways to determine and to check if the video is owned by that person or if the photo is owned by that person. So for you to stay relevant, you need to partner with the citizens who can give you tips and who can give you materials which you can work on and verify.
Can you walk us through the process of collaborating between a publisher and a citizen?
Before kasi, media organizations, what they cover is yun lang yung news. They parang kind of ignore yung na-publish via social media by the citizens. But now, kasi the citizens also are getting educated also yung paano kumuha ng video, ano yung news for them. Even the description of news, parang nag-evolve din siya. Kasi dati, ang journalist lang ang nagsasabi na ito yung news, ito yung relevant sa inyo. But ngayon, with technology, it doesn't work that way anymore. Example dun sa website, kahit ilagay mo pa yan na it's a big, bold text. It's your banner story. So you're telling the people, this is the biggest story. Even if it's in bold, but that story doesn't interest me, I will not click on it. The news judgment of journalists na changed na. Now, reader is siya yung may freedom, ano yung news sa kanya. Yun yung babasahin niya. That's the same with those for people na parang so happen they are in the area. They see that this is relevant. If it's relevant to them, then it could be relevant to the others. So as a media company, you cannot ignore that. It's either you verify that story, you dig deeper on that story, and partner with that citizen in developing the story. Use the content as your parang dun ka nababounce off for the story, but you cannot ignore that story and just ignore the person who took the video or who document a photo. So it's a parang collaboration with a citizen and a journalist.
What are the strategies you've adopted in terms of growing readership?
The challenge with the media industry now is the developments are so fast. You just learn this new thing, there's already a new development. Catching up is really very challenging. For us, we're still taking the baby steps. We're still developing our own strategies. It's evolving. But what we're doing now is we really listen to our audience. We really take note of comments on our Facebook pages, messages left on our inboxes. We really took time to listen. This is what our readers are looking for. These are the informations they need. And in terms of growing our audience, we continuously experiment strategies, new innovations, new presentation of content, finding what hits our audience. We wanted to reach out the younger audience who maybe no longer read a paper, but connects to us via our social media assets and our other digital products.
What's the most interesting story you've covered so far?
There's really a lot, but every year, what really cool to me as a producer is every year we cover Sinulog Live. It's a festival in Cebu. There's a lot of Filipinos abroad who can't come home and they're homesick. Every year we air it live from start to finish, sunrise to sunset. If you read through their comments, very touching, saying, thank you, SunStar. Parang telling us that with the coverage, parang we're in Cebu na rin, nakikifiesta, celebrating the festival with you guys. I mean, you can feel that you were able to parang napawi yung loneliness because of the coverage na binigay mo. And I think that's because of the technology. Dati hindi pwede yun. Ngayon, parang real time. For example, you have a wife in the Philippines, yung husband mo as nasa US. You're both watching at the same time. Parang nandun kayo. The technology brings you together. Those coverages, kahit nakakapagod, we do it really every year, rain or shine. Kahit tag 12 hours pa yung coverage, okay lang sa amin yun.
Can you share SunStar's upcoming projects?
This may sound ambitious for a small media company like us, but for SunStar, we wanted to explore more on producing more video content for our audience. Not just the usual long form, but we want to produce more presenting our stories on multimedia format. We wanted to experiment and expand on that aspect.
What are you most excited about with your partnership with Innity?
Our partnership with Innity just started December. But so far, the relationship is not just about providing others, sharing of ideas. Like for us, our marketing team is also evolving, but we get to get help from Innity on the part of education, educating us on terms, on how these things work, the dynamics of digital marketing. Admittedly, we're not best, we're not good at that. So we thank Innity for being there to assist us.